So how do Arsenal set up against Manchester United then? Of course, first game of the season at Old Trafford. Big game. Make sure if you've not already checked out my match preview to the game where I gave all the details on how I expect the game to go, my score prediction, what to expect from Man United, and everything you guys need to know going into the game. So make sure link in the description. You go and check that one out. But this is how Arsenal going to line up, and how we're going to beat Man United hopefully as well. So before we do so, make sure you guys smash like buttons as always. Subscribe if you are new for daily Arsenal content, and please go to get in the comment section down below. What would be your team, your starting lineup? If you don't agree with mine, then please leave yours down below as well. Let's waste no more time getting into it. Of course, Man United Arsenal, massive game. I did my preview already. I think we are going to win the game, but it's going to be a very tight game, as it always is at Old Trafford anyway. So in terms of Arteta, what he's going to do, I think he could do similar to what I've got on the screen right here. We're going to go through a number of teams that we could possibly go with and how we're going to play, etc. So obviously goalkeeper, I think it's going to be fairly obvious. It is going to be David Raya in goal, of course. Yeah, he actually quite shaky in the preseason, I thought. Hopefully it's just preseason, it's a little blip for him and he does get back to his usual self. But yeah, he looks a bit shaky. Distribution was not that great in pre-season. I thought obviously some goals I think could have been prevented. But listen, this guy, we've seen how good this guy can be. Golden Glove winner in the past 2 years, for a good reason as well. So got no problems with him staying in goal. But he has to definitely fix up his performances after the pre-season. So I think that's pretty obvious there. Now, the two centre backs I think will be fairly obvious in Gabriel and Saliba. Obviously, one of the greatest partnerships in world football. If we're being real with it, people, definitely in the Premier League. Gabriel Saliba, of course, Gabriel coming back from an injury, but he's been playing pre-season, so I do think I expect him to start. The other one who if Gabriel's not there, if it, for whatever reason he's not fully fit, then I actually would play Christian Mosquera in there. I've been really impressed with Mosquera. Let's not forget you play right back as well. Could we see a scenario where he does start Mosquera? I think it's too soon for this type of game. I think maybe against Leeds potentially we could see Mosquera, but for this game I think it's going to be Gabriel and Saliba. Obviously together. Now, these two are going to have the big role, of course, up against Benjamin Sesko, and I'm very confident. I said it in the preview yesterday. I'm very confident that Gabriel and Saliba will, you know, deal with Sesko. Now, Sesko ain't a bad player. He's going to be a threat, but Saliba and Gabriel, as I said, they've got that partnership there. I think they're going to deal really well with Benjamin Sesko. So got no problem there. Now, this is where Finn's for me. We're going to go through a number of scenarios in terms of the fullbacks. Now, I expect Jurriën Timber to play. I don't know whether he's going to play right back or left back. Could Arteta go more? I mean, if he's looked at that left hand side with Miles Lewis Skelly or Calaflori playing there, as much as I mean, both of them are solid players, especially Lewis Skelly. That is his position. Um, I'm just wondering about the positional side of things. And we saw in the Villarreal game in particular how Pepe was targeting Lewis Skelly and has so much space because, and that's an area that Villarreal targeted. You look at that third goal I think they scored from Danjuma. It all came from that left-hand side. Lewis Skelly getting sucked into the midfield, which is not his fault because that's what Arteta's telling him to do is invert, of course. So I'm just wondering if he's going to look at it now and feel like, all right, because with Brian and Brumo on that side, with Ahmad on that side as well, could that be an area that Man United targets? So I'm wondering if he can, and we know Jurriën Timber can play left back. So I'm wondering if he does go Timber at left back just to play Ben White as well at right back. If not, obviously it's going to be Timber at right back. If I just swap these around very quickly, Timber will stay right back. And then obviously it'll either be Miles Lewis Skelly or Calaflori, which I think it is going to be MLS playing inverted left back, of course. But then you get that trouble of Mbeumo on the counter attack. That's my only real concern there. So that's why I said maybe you play Timber left back and Ben White at right back, because Ben White can also do the thing going forward, overlapping as well, and give Saka another option there. But expect this to most likely be the team: Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and MLS as the back four. Obviously, no problem MLS whatsoever playing there. It's just positional wise, which concerns me. It's like that for whoever plays left back, though, isn't it? To be fair. Now let's talk about the midfield three then, and I expect this to be the midfield three. I hope this is the midfield three as well. Now, obviously, what we want to see this is how most likely we're going to set up. Odegaard will still be playing this right sort of sided of the midfield. You see him drift out wide all the time there to the right. Rice still playing in the 8, more advanced as well at times. But I think we should really do this, in my opinion. I think Zubimendi, you saw it in the Bilbao game. He's going to be the one for me. Drop him back to the centre back position to receive the ball. Sort of becoming another centre back sort of thing because he's so good at receiving the ball. Um, from the back four as well. We know how we want to play out from the back. I think because he's Mendy do this and progressing it forward. And we know he's got that killer pass as well, doesn't he? I made a video about Mendy and how good he can be for Arsenal. But I hope we do this, a double pivot of Zubi and Rice together, because I feel having these two together with Odegaard having all the space, in front sort of thing, can really free up Odegaard. Both sides as well. Sorry, yeah, both sides as well. So I really hope we do go over with a double pivot of Rice and Zumeni. I saw glimpses of it against Bilbao, and you could tell they've got a really good partnership together already. So I really hope we do go double pivot, but most likely how we're going to set up for this game, I hope it is like this. Most likely it's going to be Rice more advanced, Zuba sort of tucking in behind, and Odegaard moving out to the right-hand side. But I expect this to be the midfield three. I don't see anyone else really playing there. Obviously, we've got Ethan on the bench who can come on and play where Odegaard's playing. Norgard as well. Obviously, did start a few games in pre-season, but again, I don't see that one happening. I think it's going to be Odegaard, Zubimendi, and Declan Rice in the midfield. Now, the front three, again, another big decision here. I mean, for firstly, Saka will start on the right. Absolute, he looks back to his normal self. He looks so sharp against Bilbao in the last preseason game. So expect Saka, of course, to play on the right hand side. Now the two obviously here could be questionable. Gyökeres has got to play. Vic Gyökeres has got to start as a main striker. Would you put it past Arteta guys to play Havertz? I don't think I would, but I think he's going to go Gyökeres, starting him against Bilbao. Obviously score that header as well. He's going to be, as long as we play to his strengths, we're going to be fine. But now this is the big decision. The left-hand side. Is he going to go Gabriel Martinelli, who's been very, very poor, let's be real with it, in pre-season? Or could we actually see Noni, Madueke get the start on the left-hand side? Now, if you look in the preseason, Madueke came off both times against Villarreal and against Bilbao and played on the left-hand side. I think he's going to be our left winger, guys. And he played quite well. He looked a lot better than Martinelli did. But I think it's all going to really depend on fitness. Obviously, Madueke played a half, didn't he, against Bilbao, and he looked good. Is he going to be fully fit? He's going to be ready. He's only played 45 minutes. Well, and I think 20 minutes against Villarreal. If he is, then I do think he starts with Martinelli. I just think it's going to depend on fitness. I think as the season goes along, and if Martinelli, drops his poor performances as he keeps doing, I think we're going to see Madueke be our starting left winger. I really do. And he played well against Bilbao, so hopefully this is where it's going to really matter. Madueke, Gyökeres, Saka. And as I said, as long as we play to Gyökeres' strengths, obviously, we need to play a lot more direct to Gyökeres like we did against Bilbao. We'll be fine. It comes to a point where if we don't play to his strengths and when we don't give him the correct service, for example, the Villarreal game, the Tottenham game, we're not really going to get anywhere with him. He had to create his own sort of chances against Villarreal, and he did really well, drifting out wide as well. We could see that. So, yeah, expect this most likely to be Arsenal's probable lineup. Obviously, a few question marks. The left winger, Madueke, Martinelli, and left back, do you go Lewis Skelly? Do you go Calaflori? Or do you go with what we said at the start, with Jurian Timber and a Ben White sort of fullbacks for Arsenal? So just finally, how's the game going to get on like this? Well, I expect Manchester. I said it in my preview. I expect Manchester United to play quite similar to how they did last season against Arsenal, and that is to maybe let us have all the ball sort of thing and play more defensive against Arsenal. It definitely works against teams who play sort of low block. I think Man United go with maybe like a mid block to low block, but the thing we got to be careful with, as I said, my concern is the left back position for Arsenal and Manchester United's counter attack with the likes of Cunha, with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, with the likes of Mbeumo, with the likes of Sesko. Now they have that on the counter attack, they can cause us a few problems. And obviously, like as I said in the game last season and the Emirates in specific, they played a way where they made it very frustrating for us. We couldn't break them down. We didn't create enough chances against them. I think it's 0-0 at halftime. I was thinking, wow, Man United, and this is Amarin's first game, wasn't it, as well? Man United, they've got a clear game plan. So we had to score from the set pieces. We had to score from 2 set pieces. Man United can suss out the set pieces against us and play quite similar to how we did last year, to how they did last year against Arsenal, right? Then we could be in for a frustrating game, which is why I think it's going to be a very, very tight game, as it always is at Old Trafford anyway. What we have a few different makers now. We have players like Gyökeres. We've got that proper striker down the middle who all it takes one chance, whether it's a cross. They said he can't score headers, but he proved that against Bilbao. He should have scored 2. But we have Gyökeres there, so that's the confidence sort of there. But I think defensively as well, set pieces is for us in terms of defensively kind of concerns me as well, because a few times against Tottenham in pre-season we looked very vulnerable at set pieces. But I feel like with Gabriel Saliba, Timber, MLS in there, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting game to see. First game of the season, we need to get off to a good start, but I expect this to be the lineup, guys. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. What would be your team down below as well? Leave your score prediction if you haven't already. So check out my other video for the full match preview. But Arsenal, you need to get off to a good start. Please get off to a good start. Win this game and get the 3 points, and we move people. Thanks everyone who watched the video. Really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Come on.